Welcome back, everybody, to the Last of Us recap and review spoiler. Again, as we talk about Last of Us season 2, as we're now on episode 3, as you're coming from the episode. Myself, Terrell, and Stevie are here to break it down and tell you how we felt about it, what we thought about it, and progress through the story as we tell the story of episode 3 with you of season 2. And I'll start this off by asking you, as we always do, following up from the last episode where we see the pivotal death of Joel Miller. You still feeling something about that as you go into this episode? Like you felt like, oh man, like you were hurt, or did this episode kind of amplify it for you, like made you feel a little bit more? Or do you feel like what I said last week, like it needed a little bit more build to it?
It still needs a little bit more build. It felt the same. Like it didn't hit as the death of Joel didn't hit as hard to me. It was sad and it was really really good. It just didn't hit as hard. So this kind of did the same though. I felt the same watching this. So I do think that this episode is a little bit slower, and it's something that I feel like people do need. That slowness after such a big scene that happened last episode. So definitely needed, but still felt the same.
So what did you, I know we're going to get into like the details of it, but what did you think about the overall episode of episode 3 of this season 2?
I thought it was good. I still thought it was a good episode. It's just that it's a slow episode to me personally. I feel like that you need to recuperate and you need to have that slowness so you can kind of like take in what happened and stuff. So yeah, it's slow but good. It's stuff that you need. It's the recap episode. This is like, all right, this is what everyone's doing now. This is how everyone's recuperating.
Right. Mm-hmm. I definitely agree with what you just said. Like it is a slower episode, but I don't think that's a bad thing. It would have been ridiculous had it been like, this next episode, like right after we just saw Joel die, Ellie just goes full steam, and and into everything that's going on. So I'm glad that we do get a little bit more of Jackson here. We get a little bit more of the sense of community. We get a chance to like really see a little bit of like what this world is like outside of the gates of Jackson. And like I said, just the overall character building, I think was a really good choice. Obviously, if people are watching this, like you're probably looking at reviews. I'm not looking at reviews from like people like that are like review bombing and stuff like that. You got to look at this from its own, like this is own individual medium. Like this is an adaptation of the video game. It's gonna take certain routes. It's gonna be different because it should be. Like if you're adapting something into a new medium, you want to give it something that it either didn't have before, but not taking away anything from the original material, unless it's something that's just outdated. It doesn't look a certain way, or you got to tweak certain stuff. You know what I mean? Everything in The Walking Dead is not one for one. Daryl is not an ongoing plot armor character, in the comics. Daryl will never die. He'll keep getting spinoffs. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Like you got to accept things what it is. Now you can critique it, and if it's bad, it's bad. I'm going to call it out on it, and I have my personal feelings, but I'm not going to say it to the point where it shouldn't exist because it's something new, or it's doing something new, or the actors, like I said, I'm basing this on like the acting, the performance, how it shot, stuff like that. I'm the personal stupid stuff that people were talking about. I'm not even worried about that. So if you're coming into this thinking that we're about to hop on that train, you're definitely mistaken. Like it's not the type of energy we're on as we talk about the show.
Yeah, it's also very different. Well, it has to do this because it is a show. It's like if it's a video game, it's like, okay, the whole point is to go ahead and move on to the next thing because you're playing a video game. But for a show, you need to have like that sense of slowness and see what everybody. It was a big death for the community, and a lot of stuff happened last episode. So you kind of need to get that aftermath of things and see how they're going to handle it.
That's why I'm like, I already kind of like in my head for the first season, I was just like, yeah, Terrell, like this is a different show. Don't expect this to be exactly what it is because it's already like a lot of changes, for this show, and it's fine. Like I'm like sometimes like if you try to make everything the way it is, like certain things are just not gonna happen. You know what I mean? When the first X-Men movie came out, people were like, oh, we didn't get the yellow costumes, we didn't get this didn't happen, but people was loving it because like that was something. We didn't have no X-Men movies.
Yeah.
We didn't have any MCU, any comic book stuff. And shout out to those movies for starting off the train. But and sometimes you gotta take that risk unless you're Venom, and just make those movies and TV shows. So I'm glad we got this. But like I said, we're still gonna call out stuff that what it is, but I'm not gonna call out stupid stuff that is irrelevant to what's going on in the show and the acting and stuff like that. So yeah. I just wanted to say that.
Well said. Hey, I agree.
But yeah, let's jump right into the episode. Talk about what happened. You mentioned, like you said, that the episode starts off. We get right into the aftermath of what just happened in Jackson that last episode. As like I said, they battled their asses off, defending the town. And we see right off the bat, like they lost a lot. That wall they thought was gonna be impenetrable. Was trash. That wall, and even Ellie later in the episodes calls out that wall like, yo, y'all need to get some steel titanium or something. Like this is not working. If one of these infected can just bust through the wall like the Incredible Hulk and the Kool-Aid Man, you gotta do a little bit better. But we see the aftermath. We see everybody's lost something. Tommy is seeing all the bodies, basically like their morgue that they build up. And I just thought that was cool too, because like this town is like, I don't know if this was like a town that was already there and like pre-built and they just expanded on it, but I'm like, they just happen to have a morgue and just stuff like that for the bodies.
Yeah. I mean, if it was a morgue, maybe it was just a place that they were just holding people. Yeah.
Everybody's got to pick a profession out of the hat. This is what you want. So everybody that was what they were, they brought that over into the community. But we see the scene where like Tommy is checking over Joel's body, and I'm guessing, obviously they didn't want you to show Pedro Pascal because he's Mr. Fantastic now.
Yeah, he's done.
But overall, I thought the scene where him just really feeling that like he has his moment like most guys do. They process it and they're like, okay, there's so much I could do. What were you thinking on the scene right here? Like finally seeing Tommy have his moment with Joel after they brought the body back by horse. They had to drag them by horses, by the way, because these two women were definitely not about to bring this body back. What do you think about that whole healing process for Tommy? Well, I guess not healing, but that moment for Tommy in this part.
Yeah, definitely needed because of course, like you're gonna have a scene with him because that's his brother. So of course there was gonna be something there, and there was like one thing that stood out to me in that scene. It was just like when they panned back, like you just saw all the dead bodies. That from Jackson too, and it was just so weird seeing this character who we followed the last season is just like amongst the dead. Like there's no special thing, there's no like and it's like that for a reason. Like I'm not saying it's bad, not because of it, but it's just like in this world, like if you're dead, you're just amongst the dead, and it's crazy to see, especially for a character like that. But I thought it was really good. I thought it's something that was needed.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned, like you said, once you're dead in this, like you're dead, versus like other mediums like where like you die and then you come back and then it's like they gotta double tap you. You know what I mean? Like if you get killed as infected, you're pretty well. They shoot you in the brain, you're pretty much done. And thank God guns work, right? Because very old.
Yeah. It's just business now. Yeah. Like they just buried the dead. There was something special. There was no memorial. There was just that. And this is how it works now in this world. So it's cool to see.
I just thought it was funny, like just seeing like the best laid out plan, goes to shit real quick. And, as you see in episode 2, Tommy's like going over the plan, like, what do? We hit the roofs, we hit the basements, and all of that went out the window, and like half a second, but
Yeah.
you see like the people in the town that are like cool, like and keep their cool, like, and they even with the horde coming in, they were still able to handle their own and and effectively do what they needed to do. And man, how did he get so many guns? Like a lot of
Yeah.
guns.
Who did they raid for that? I mean, this town looks pretty isolated too. So it's like, it's not like New York where it's like, where everything's walking distance and you just probably find a whole bunch of stuff. It's like out in the west or wherever they are. So it's like, you probably got to walk like a bunch of miles to get to the next place. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder where they're getting all this stuff from.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. But yeah, it was a lot of bodies, man. So I'm just like, I didn't know they was gonna burn everybody at this point, or what. But yeah, I mean, at this point, we eventually see that like everybody, gets a proper burial, including Joel, because we see Tommy, put him in the grave. Then we check into our next scene here in the episode, which I thought was interesting, but I'm glad they added it to it. Ellie waking up in the hospital, just screaming her lights out about her last pretty much memory of Joel getting executed. And again, I don't want to keep bringing this up, but I just wish it was a little bit more violent, because I feel like by the time Ellie got there, he was pretty much already done. You know what I mean? Like, had they set it up to where like she watched him get killed, is a completely different scenario. But we still see him. She still sees him get killed, but she comes down with the knife or whatever that was that stabs him in the neck and kills him.
She didn't see the beating of him, like the punching,
which is what I remember from the game. Which I just said last episode I was going to go back and watch that, and it has not been enough time since then. But definitely, my plan is definitely after. I'm just going to say after this show is over, I'm going to go back and play it, because like I need a staycation, man, to be able to catch up on a lot of video games, and they keep coming out.
What
happened to like maybe it's because I grew up and you get money, so you're able to just kind of buy stuff when you want it, and like certain things just start to lose. I don't want to say lose, like you just have less time for stuff. So I definitely want to go back and play The Last of Us Part 1 and 2, the remasters, for the 35th time, so I can get back and definitely get kind of fill in that scene for scene. But I'm trying to remember that.
Maybe we should stream it. Let's stream it. Let's go on Twitch. Stream The Last of Us.
I feel I don't, and I want to say I remember Ellie getting beat pretty badly too, in the game, to the point where like she was down for a while and had to recover, because like right here we do see a time skip of 3 months, and we're seeing the town start to rebuild. Everybody's kind of going about their business, and I feel like this is kind of the state of the world, like where you don't fuck with us, we don't fuck with you. But this organization, the WLF, as we now know, the wolves come in and they start some shit, so it's a whole other thing. But you notice kind of like as you see the time skip, like, and I don't know if it's done on purpose, you almost see kind of a like the lighting, or like what if it's a little bit like a bit brighter, like they want to show it like a little bit more hopeful, versus like where it was a couple scenes ago where it's like dark, like, oh man, this sucks. You think that was done, obviously we think it was done like intentionally, like they wanted to kind of bring that brightness up a little bit more to show you like, okay, things are getting better, yada yada yada?
Yeah, I think so. I think they wanted to show that, because that things have definitely gotten better, I guess, since then, or people have moved on, just like time and seasons and stuff like that. It moves on. So, I feel like that's like one of the reasons why they did that. And also I feel like this to show that time has moved on. But I wanted to just talk about the Bella Ramsey again, when she woke up from seeing Joel getting killed. Their scream was so good. I'm sorry, their scream was so good. Like it was so like they put them in a horror movie or something. I like the way they screamed. It was really cool. But that's what I think about the time thing. So
I mean, I thought, I mean, I don't know how many times they cut that, but any times you about to scream in my ear 3 or 4 times. Cut that scene. But no, I think that really showed the level of connection that she had, because you definitely you definitely see that like, this sense of guilt, which I think a lot of that during the game too, because like a lot of that it doesn't get resolved between them, where like they both have an opportunity to kind of clear the air and it doesn't happen, and like that moment is obviously taken away from her to be able to forgive him on her own. So now she is now forced into another position where she's dealing with another emotion, which is now revenge, and she feels guilty for not saying anything to Joel and being an asshole to him, even though he kind of deserves it a little bit like that. But it's a lot. So I'm glad they definitely show that like that she's dealing with that. She's dealing with she's basically having nightmares of that situation, and I don't think they say it, but she's pretty much thinking about this pretty much almost every time she goes to sleep at this point, which is like building that up until we're able to get back at oh my god, what is her name? The woman that killed Joel.
Abby.
So she can get her revenge on Abby.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if I watched somebody get killed, I would be messed up too after that.
I mean, I don't think everybody has that I'm gonna turn into the Punisher attitude.
I'm not saying that, but she got they're gonna have baggage, definitely some baggage.
Especially because this is basically her dad. You know what I mean? Like, let's not forget about that. This is basically her father. She didn't have any parents. Well, they were already gone prior to the situation, so this is pretty much all she known. This guy's been protecting her, getting her where she needs to be. But again, Joel took something big from her, which is like basically her choice, her agency in the situation to be able to do that. I question like if she did know the full extent of what the Fireflies were going to do, because basically they needed to harvest her entire body in order to create a cure for the world. Obviously, this is a selfish choice that is made by Joel, which is why this is lingering so hard, because you like, she's the only one in the world right now that they know of that has the ability that she's immune to this. And now you have that sitting over you like, okay, I basically could have saved the world, or I made the decision already in my head to save the world, and Joel took that from me. You know what I mean? He took that choice from her to be able to do that. Whether, he clearly does, after everything they go through, you clearly he doesn't want her to die because he sees her as a daughter.
You know what? That's so funny. Sorry. I wonder if he would have told Abby that, if she still would have killed him. Like, hey, I didn't kill your dad because like I wanted to see him dead. Like I did it because he was gonna kill my kid. Like,
that's kind of what this is all about. At this point, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what the circumstance is, but like the video game and hopefully the show definitely gives you a really good viewpoint of both sides. And you're like, damn, like, okay, maybe we can, because at some point while I'm playing the game, I'm like, okay, I think we can stop now. I'm good here. And she's like, no, I gotta keep going. And it's like, I don't care what I lose. I gotta kill this chick. I don't care. So I'm like, all right, because it starts to become a lot as you progress through the game. Moving on from that. So we see Ellie speaking with the therapist Gail about the last conversation, because she has to get cleared to leave the hospital, about her talking on the porch with Joel. And right off the bat, you could tell that as Gail is a professional, she knows that Ellie is lying about the whole situation and she's not okay. Pretty sure everybody probably heard her screaming her life away while she's in the hospital.
Yeah.
And I think I sent you the video too about the whole thing with Eugene, because like I had to look that up too, because I'm like, I'm like, did we see Eugene get killed, or am I losing my mind here? But obviously Gail still has a sense of resentment for Joel, so she's almost kind of happy that Joel probably died. She never says it, but she feels like she got her back, her get back on that by that happening. But she can already see that Ellie's about to put herself in danger. She's not letting this go. Everybody knows how she is. Like they already kind of 3 steps ahead of her. Like, yeah, you getting, as soon as you get out of here, you're gonna try to put a party together and put this together. But as we find out, like they're so weak right now. They just lost a bunch of people. Ain't no sending nobody out here to be able to go on this basically possibly a suicide mission. The conversation between Gail in Ellie, where I wanted to talk about like wait Bella Ramsey, the facial expressions that are made, kind of like turn it on, and then like right out of the scene, we see him walk walk down the hallway, and you can just kind of see the switch. I'm assuming you saw this as well. Like, what would you think about that whole thing, just from that conversation to like Bella walking down the hallway, and you just see like the mental switch that goes through the head. Like, okay, yeah, you can see like, okay, yeah, it's clearly not letting this go. Ellie is not letting it go.
She's not. They're not. And yeah, I mean, Gail's right. She is like a liar. Like they're good at it.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, because it's like that switch is just like, it's like, okay, I'm saying things just to get myself out of here, but then their brain just switches to like, okay, I'm on a mission, and this is what I have to do. Like, and it was good. It was good. Well, it was good acting to see that switch, you know? So yeah, super good acting. Super good acting.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, like
again, I no issues like with how, because Gail is not a character that exists in the video game. So it's glad that she does exist here. And great casting, by the way. Like, come on, like we couldn't have got any better than Kevin's mom to play this role. It's just, oh my god, this I'm very curious to see, like, once we get through like kind of like, okay, like an episode like this where it's like slow building, we're kind of recovering, or we're just gonna go balls to the wall. Like, is it gonna go nuts going forward? Because like I said, like you were saying earlier, this is very well paced. Like I said, character building and otherwise. Where were we on the timeline here? Ellie comes back to the house, and she's pretty much getting ready to go to war. guns ready. You know, everybody pretty much knows what she's gonna do. Like, and then of course Dina comes in and calms her down. Like, so you going by yourself? You got supplies? Like, what you going to do? Do you know what it is? And I really like this scene, because Dina is the sense of freaking reason here. To the whole situation, and we have her come in, and she, you know, after the 3 months, explained that she pretty much lied to Ellie, and that she knew everybody's names, where they were from, and I think her reasoning for why she did this was very well explained. Because if I would have told you, you would have got up and got yourself killed almost immediately. You were not at 100%. You needed time to recover. And I think the scene really shows like their level of friendship and this like weird romance that they can't seem to admit that they like each other.
Yeah.
You with Jesse? Yeah, okay. I'm back with Jesse. Okay, I guess that meant nothing. Okay, but what do you think about, first of all, the bribe with the cookies? Like she didn't want to get in trouble. She slid whatever those cookies were. What do you think about this whole scene here? Like their friendship, like and her telling her, pretty much going down the warpath scene of everything that happened here.
Yeah, I like the scene. Well, I want to start going back to like when Ellie first enters into the house. That was such like a good scene, because it really feels like that stages of grief. Like, I don't know if you like, I have been in houses where like family has lived and then they passed away, and it just feels totally different when you walk back into the house, especially if it's like a recent passing and stuff. And stuff is still there and things like that. And it's like, it's so hard. It's like you're walking into a stranger's home. Like, it's like, it's not even your home anymore, it feels like, because it's just changed now. So I thought that was really good. I thought it was good with expressing that emotion. And yeah, I do think Dina had like every right to lie, because I feel like they're such good friends, and you know, potentially we all know that they're gonna be girlfriends one day. But like, she just knows them so well and stuff like that. She's like, oh, if I would have told you, you would have got yourself killed. Like, you're not ready to fight. But I do like that she And that's why I think it was so important to have Dina there and or have that relationship with Joel, because it's like I feel like in the video game, like she's kind of just there because she's Ellie's girlfriend.
Yeah.
But for now, she has like a reason to want to go out and find them too. She not only just wants to help Ellie, but it's also like she has a reason. She loved him too. So I think it was good.
Well, yeah, I mean they've been there for a while, so we don't really see these established like relationships,
Yeah.
or the established relationship between Dina and Joel. We just get like little hints of it, that the conversation they had at the table, about hey, what's going on, and stuff like that. Just kind of like the familiarity that they have with each other. So I would have loved to. Again, I wish we would have just got a little bit more time before they pulled the trigger to see like everybody kind of how they felt about Joel, stuff like that, because I feel like from the first one, like we're still kind of dealing with the aftermath of Joel and Ellie. We don't really get the time to see everybody's interaction with Joel, not even like his brother, to be honest.
Yeah.
His wife, like you see them talking, but other than that, like I said, I wish we would have just spent more time like building that into it before they did it. Especially, I mean, again, you have TV as your medium, you have the time, but the issue becomes the budget and the number of episodes they want you to tell the story in. So that's usually the handicap that we become. That's my only issue with just how they handle it, because I feel like had we sat with this like another episode or two and then they did it, I'm like, but you don't want to do it too long. I would have said at least by episode 3, like you would have taken, you would have taken episode 2 to build up the first 2 episodes to build up Joel. Oh man, that sucks. And then we get to this point, he dies. But again, we would have needed more episodes than what was given for this season.
Yeah, like I wonder if episode 2 maybe was just Jackson and like the attack on Jackson, and that was it. And then like when he saves Abby, that's like the beginning of episode 3. Like maybe that would have been better. Yeah man. But yeah, I agree with the shortness of like seasons and stuff like that, and it is probably because of budget, and also maybe because they're getting such like a big name actor now to play their leading character that they probably can't afford, or possibly like he's doing a bunch of stuff now, so you kind of gotta kill him off at this point, so he can do the other things that he's obligated to do.
I mean, he probably filmed like you said before last episode, was he probably filmed a lot of flashback stuff too.
Yeah,
I think with the I think they're gonna fill in those blanks as we kind of go on. I mean, obviously I don't know yet. We're just kind of build that more, but I just, like I said before, I wish they would have had more leading into it. But and I like what you said too, like bringing up the scene where Ellie comes in the house and she is crying, breaks down, like, and then sucks it back up like a soldier. Okay, can't let Dina see me like this. You know what I mean? Like, can't let anybody see me weak. And I like that attitude from her, because she like, okay, I know she already has in her head like what she has to do, and there's nothing stopping her whatsoever. Like Ellie is strong, like, and ready to get that. So Dina pretty much tells Ellie that, look, we're gonna have to bring this to the council, see what happens, like, because we're gonna need support for a mission this big. Like, it can't be a solo, which it winds up becoming a solo thing. Anyway, let me not get that far. But pretty much brings the info to Tommy, and Tommy's like, I'm down, but it's not just my decision. Like, it's still like above all else, like I still gotta take care of my kid, my wife, like there's other responsibilities. I can't like, he's my brother. Like I want to go out there and do something today, but it's only but so much you can do. I really like this conversation, because it definitely does feel like a niece and daughter conversation. Like, I think Tommy has brung her in as well. And treats her like his family as well. Like, this is what they established. Before I even get to anything else, like, are you like feeling like, are you buying like the relationship between Tommy and Ellie, or like do you feel like that needed more time to cook as well?
I think it still needs a little bit more time for me. I feel like I haven't seen them interact as much. And it could be because maybe we did not see that much of Tommy, because like in season 1, because like the first half was like kind of looking for him, and then we only get like a few episodes of them, like just 2 episodes so far, of them maybe interacting with each other. So as it turns to their relationship, I feel like I haven't seen anything yet that will like, makes a difference. But I feel like it's just the fact that I need to see more. But now since like maybe we'll see more of them together in the future. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping so, because I mean pretty much
I like Tommy. I want to see more of him. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Gabriel Luna. Yeah, definitely need Ghost Rider. We could just go Ghost Rider, and we could just take care of this entire issue. He definitely has more of a presence, and I think that's done intentionally. Like where he kind of steps in and plays the Joel role more in the second game, and is more of a guardian. Like I mean, she's a grown adult, but like more of a guardian and protector, and that. But I definitely love the relationship. But even still, Ellie is not able to let it go.
No.
I don't think I wrote this down, but I definitely wanted to talk about, before I get into the next part of that, the scene where Tommy and Gail are talking, and they were talking about how the situation. This is like right after the town hall meeting, and she was like, yeah, Ellie's a liar, and Tommy says, well, there's a difference between being a liar and a liar. Which is, you lie because you have to, whatever the situation, and then pathologically just doing it without even knowing you're doing it. You know what I mean? Like, what would you? I mean, what do you think about that conversation, like just between them two? Because I thought that was interesting. Like she knows how to read people, and I think that's one of the reasons why they keep her. Because I mean, like, you good judge of character. You want to scan who's coming through them gates. You know what I mean? So, I'm pretty sure everybody was nobody there.
Yeah, I thought it was a good scene too. First of all, I love Gail because she's like a wine mom. That would be me, like just watching them play. Just watching them play baseball and smoking weed and drinking wine. Like that's no zombies around. That would be perfect. That's a wine mom. But yeah, I thought that was good too. She did bring up the topic of nature versus nurture, which is such like an interesting topic. If you've ever taken psychology 101, you probably know what that type of stuff is. But yeah, like it's just interesting that she could pinpoint things, and I want to know what her character is gonna be doing in future episodes, which I'm curious about, because it's not a character in the game. So it's like, I wonder, like, I like her around, but it's also like, what's her point right now? Like, I wonder what more she's going to be doing. You know what I mean? But I thought it was good.
Did they explain how Abby and how they were able to find Joel in the first place? Did I miss that? Because if not,
no.
I'm sitting here thinking, like, did Gail sell them out?
Ooh, what a twist!
Like, she didn't have like specifics, but like how would they have known? Like,
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
She would have reason to, based off of again killing her husband. That's why I think they kept bringing that up. So I feel like I might have gotten the bingo on this one, and I feel like by the end of this one we're gonna find out that Gail sold out Joel, and that was the reason why yada yada yada. But we'll see. I don't want to. I mean, that's not something that happens in the game, obviously, but
no. I do also want to bring it back also to when Ellie was talking to Tommy about trying to get a rescue team to, well, not rescue team, but trying to get a team together to go kill the people, and she made a comment like, "Oh, Joel will do it for." Like, Joel will do it. He'll be like the first one out there. And Tommy's like, yeah, no, Joel will do it if he had to go rescue somebody that he loves. He just wouldn't go out and kill somebody. Which I thought was interesting. So it's like they're still adding more to his character. That was good.
Yeah, definitely. He knows the extent of what his brother would have been able to do, obviously. We jump into, like, we get to see like the cult. Like, I swear I remember the name of it, but they don't say it here. But we see this cult of people like with like cuts and stuff like that, and they're walking around with hammers. And we pretty much see them like they being hunted by wolves, which we now know the WLFs. And I just thought, like, again, I don't really remember like the religion or like what was going on here in the game. I do remember killing a lot of them though. I mean, having to kill.
I don't remember them at all. I was wondering if you knew because I don't remember them.
They're a big threat in the game because there's a big portion of this where like I don't want to say too much, but
okay,
where you got to chop them down a little bit. But it was nice seeing them like how they going through like the little girl getting prepared, like everybody. I don't want to say people are brainwashed at this point, but people have adapted a new way of survival. But sometimes that comes in the form of physical, more times mental, where you adapt to your situation and you either become something else or you adapt in different ways. But they're being haunted by wolves, and they just jump into the bushes, which I thought was hilarious. Everybody just got low, which we later see in the episode. They all wound up getting killed. I don't feel bad for them because they're terrible. But
oh, are they bad?
terrible.
Yeah, I don't remember them.
We see Jesse and Ellie, like they discussed, pretty much like her having to get through the town hall meeting, and him telling her like that she has to pretty much chill out, like collect your thoughts, like that'll be a little bit more sense of reason. Also thought it was funny that he was messing with her about the Dina situation and the kiss that at the dance, which he already knew about. But at this point, we find out later that Jesse and Dina have gotten back together at some point.
Yeah.
I said this before, but I really like the fact that they highlight this friendship. At this point, if Jesse were to die, I'm gonna be pissed, and that's what I'm saying. Like giving that level of attention. Like, of course, we had the whole relationship in season 1, but I feel like because it's been so long and the time period in between and how it's left hanging, like we don't really get I don't feel like we got a proper resolution to that. But again, there's more episodes coming, so I don't want to say we might get it through flashbacks or however they do it, but but like I said, I just really thought the relationship between her and Jesse, I really like what I'm seeing here. Just they're cool. He's now upgraded to being on the council, which we already knew was going to happen. And then of course we jump right into the town hall meeting, and of course we're surprised that I want to say Carlisle speaks up about everybody being scared. If it was one of us, we would go do it for you, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But speaks up for Ellie, which pretty unexpected. He'd already apologized for the situation, but I think he definitely feels pretty similar to how she's feeling. And you see the relationship between them two, the tide kind of changed there, because Ellie's still kind of like, well, fuck this guy. He shouldn't have said what he said. I'm still in my feelings about that. But I'm liking that he stepped up, and we really see about that. And the reason they pretty much give the meeting is they don't want to give out lose their strongest 16 people while they're still in the state of rebuilding. Yeah. Again, we see the sense of community. We don't get to see everybody, people extras, but we see how reduced the town is now to what it was. What did you think about the scene, like Ellie spilling the feelings to the council and getting support of 3 people out of the council, out of what it was like 10 or 8, like 8 people said no, 3 10. Yeah, but what do you think about this entire thing here?
Yeah, I also thought this was a good scene. I think they both had valid points, like when they were going through like the feedback from the town. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's true. Like you can't send 16 people out there to go look for 3 people, like, or 3 or 4 or how many there were on the other side. So it makes sense why they wouldn't want to send them back. And it's like also it kind of like he's dead, and then maybe that's why, like, that's kind of like what I was getting at the beginning of the episode, where you just see him amongst the dead, like he's dead. Like, why are we, like, I guess like in townsfolk's point of view, for the people that said no, like, let him rest. And also it's like, why are we sending out people to go kill him, like kill them? Like, what if they have more people, like they don't know, like, and they come back and they could retaliate, and it could affect everybody in their town. But I also see where Carlisle, is that his name? I only remember him. I only remember him from Law and Order SVU. So
is he from Law and Order?
Yeah, he's from SVU. I recognize everybody from that show, but he's like what is he? He's like I forgot what he was. He's like some cop. Like he's some cop. He's like the cop that deals when cops get in trouble. I forgot what those types of cops are called. But yeah, like I also
Internal
see.
Affairs.
Is it? Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe I think that's what it is. Yeah. But he, like, I saw his point too, because it's like, you know, like if we don't do something, they could come back, like, and you know, think that we're weak and try to take over. So I saw everybody's point of view, and I also did think that Ellie was lying, because like the therapist called it. She like that whole letter was bullshit. Like she don't really feel that way. We already know what she was gonna do, and I knew what she was gonna do too. So, but you know, it was nice to see that she tried, I guess.
Absolutely. And I also want to mention one thing about that scene. There was the one town guy, like, that pretty much, like, he gave his bid on the situation with that mission, and he was pretty much speaking on the moral compass of people and not like taking lives to defend, but not being like cold-blooded assassins, like killers. Like we trying to keep that level. Like, okay, who are we now? Like, are we those people that, you know, we're trying to separate ourselves from the people outside of here that are trying to do that? Like we have to be able to, what do you say? Like we have to be able to not overlook it, but like kind of be different with that situation, and somebody still has to hold that more ground, because like you see in this world of The Last of Us, like people are way more willing to kill people now without hesitation. Like it's kill or be killed out here, whether it's by the affected or another person for your resources in your home. So you got to do, but you know, as they start to try to rebuild and do something new, you obviously you want to try to get away from that, and somebody has to be the heart or the moral compass of the group, to kind of anchor people into a certain point. So I really like that they showed that scene. And again, but at this point, everybody is kind of either too far gone or they're just not mentally built to handle this world. Like they have to be sheep, and somebody, while you know somebody else has to be the shepherd. You know, and this, you know, it happens to be Tommy and his wife and a couple of people in the community where, you know, some people just want to be there. They just want to survive. They don't have that strong will to fight. Yeah. You know, and that's not what we need. We need some militia up in here. We need some fighters. We can't just be in here and have babies. You can't just be your baby ain't gonna do nothing to help us. Like, so I hate that. Man, and nothing burns me up more to see. I mean, it's going to happen. You know, I'm pretty sure like nobody's thinking about like contraception in the end of the world. But the last thing I'm about to do is create life and have a disadvantage. Oh my goodness, disadvantage. Like now I gotta save my wife and
my baby.
Yeah, like, and I feel like I said this before in another episode, but yeah, like I just like, man, because you see a lot of people with kids, and like, and again, you want to build that. You do want to build that sense of community and some level of normalcy, but I'm like, man, that's just. Like, we're gonna have to put a rule on like, yeah, y'all can do what y'all do, but
I mean, yeah, that's how like basically Ellie's mom died because she was pregnant and giving birth, you know, like
played by the voice actors that played Ellie, which went over my head the first time I watched it. Speeding this up
and
a bit,
Abby's voice actress was in the hospital scene from when she was one of the nurses.
I did not know that. Did she have a mask on? Okay, I was like, what?
She was one of the nurses in the back with the mask on. Yeah,
they're sneaking people in the show. Look at that. Where we at? So we did a town hall meeting. We already know Ellie's about to go home, gear up. Dina catches Ellie arming up, about to go on the mission. Again, the part where I tell her that, you know, Dina comes in, you know, surprisingly, like, look, I got everything we need. You got the supplies. I'm gonna ride with you. Can't tell anybody else. It's gonna have to be a solo mission, with just the two of us. And you know, Dina knew that Ellie was already gonna do this. Asked for help, so we get Carlisle that helps them out. They trade off the rifle, you know, and then they go out and about. They get to. I think they got one horse to obviously conserve resources, because it probably definitely would have been stupid to probably grab 2 horses.
Yeah, shout out to fucking Dina. She's so smart. Like, she was like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do for food? How you gonna
Exactly.
bring all this shit? Like, we gotta travel light, travel smart. Like,
Exactly.
she's the
I,
brains, obviously.
I definitely like this scene with Carlisle because I think this is the part where we get to kind of squash this. So I
Yeah.
think if something were to happen to Carlisle now, you'd be like, oh man, like, dang,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like, because now you feel like connection between her and Ellie. And again, I'm not saying that with Joel. I'm just saying is the guy that meant a lot to a lot of people. I wish it would have been more around that to build it up, especially because he's the
Mhm.
main freaking character in the show.
Yeah.
Carlisle is the side character. I'm like, okay, we feel something, but we can move on. But I like that they kind of make up solidly.
Squashed it.
She got say, hey, okay, see you later, and then they get on the mission.
Yeah, it also shows like because I feel like the whole thing about The Last of Us 2 is about like moving on and forgiveness.
Yeah,
So it's cool to see
for
it
some
like
people
also
too.
early on. Yeah, like so. Yeah, squash
Um,
beefs.
we get the scene where Ellie, as she says early in the episode, she'll check out the grave when she's on her mission to go do what
Mhm.
she needs to do, go kill Abby and the wolves. And we get the shot of like her stopping by Joel's grave, which I thought was very beautifully shot.
Yeah, it
Kind of
was.
almost kind of like a sunset. They
Mhm.
got there. I thought that was really really well nice.
The coffee beans.
I was tearing up a little bit. Yeah, they got me. I was like, oh man, okay. And this is more of what I'm talking about, like what I need of this, because I wish we would have got like Tommy. We could have got like more. Again, it's a time issue, and you don't want to drag stuff too long. But again, I do wish the town would have been more involved in that. Like, oh man, like, but it is what it. But I thought the shot was very beautifully done.
Yeah, same. I thought so too.
But like I said, we're at the end of this, and we see like sorry, I'm about to say Abby, Ellie and Dina kind of on their road trip, and we see kind of where they at, and the text is about the rain, and they get into the tent, and we get this real awkward awkward scene between the two of them.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And they have a whole conversation, back and forth, and of course the kiss gets brought back up, and Dina brings back up that she is still with instantly forgot his name.
Jesse?
Jesse.
Yeah.
Jesse, yeah. And you can see on Ellie's face the change
The
with like kind of
disappointment.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then later Dina tells Ellie that she was not that high. Like I was still coherent to make a decision, which kind of, okay, like where we at with that? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I really like this scene. Like, and again, this is more of what I'm talking about, kind of building between those characters or having time to be able to do that. What do you think about that whole scene between them two? And right now, we're still in friend mode between them two. Like, we haven't really crossed that line just 100%.
Yeah. It's not there yet. They're not at that romantic part yet. They will be though, 100%. I liked it. I thought it was cute. I like seeing them together. I think they're both cute.
Yeah.
When they were riding on the horse together, like it definitely feels like that the roles are kind of like reversed now, because I feel like Dina is like the Ellie character from season 1 where she's like cracking jokes and stuff like that and all this other stuff on the back of the horse, and now Ellie is like Joel where they're all serious and stuff and like on a mission to go do this thing. So that was pretty cool to see. I could definitely see I do like that their relationship is there, but not really, because I think Dina said something along the lines of like, oh, if I don't want to misquote, but it seems like she doesn't know really how she feels, like maybe sexuality wise. And if anyone's somebody who's probably questioned their sexuality before, then you've probably been in that same position. So I do like that it's like they show it, because it's like, oh, I don't know what it is type thing. Like, I like this guy, or do I like you stuff. So I thought that was cool to see.
I do like that they put more clarity on that too, where like she was like, yeah, you're gay, I'm not, like I'm with so it's just like, we already know from season 1 where Ellie is, on kind of on that spectrum there, you know what I mean? Like where where she is like 100%, but she's with Jesse, and now we're kind of bending, trying to figure that out, after the kiss, like, oh, okay, did you feel something? I need to know where we at on that. And
Yeah.
6, 6, like, and Ellie is just brutally honest, which I love. Like, it was 6. It was cool.
It was alright. Yeah, it was 6.
Yeah, you how you drunk. Yeah. We get further into the travel. We see that the entire cult group is killed. We see Dina throw up hints later after seeing that this is something that she's seen all the time, but for whatever reason, this makes her throw up, which we people that play the game, we know. I'm not gonna spoil that for you.
There's a reason that I don't know about? There's a reason why? I don't know.
Yeah. It's for the people that are watching the show. I don't want to that I'm gonna leave out of that.
Okay.
Some of them you can figure it out, yeah. But yeah, we see the entire group is killed. They know that they have a feeling that the wolves did this, and then we end the episode with seeing a lot of the WLF kind of take over, and as we see them kind of militarize and take over the zone and stuff like that. And that's kind of where we end this episode for episode 3. So we build that up. So I guess we'll pick that back up in 4.
Did you realize that the guy at the end was Falcon?
What?
That's Falcon.
Really?
Yeah. What's his name? What's his name? In the show, I forgot his name, but like I was looking at him and I'm like, I know you from somewhere, and it's Falcon from Captain America.
Okay. Getting the Marvel checks.
Yeah, right. Like.
Yeah. So like I said, we end the episode by pretty much seeing the presence of like what we're going to be dealing with.
Yeah.
And it kind of definitely has me built up for episode 4, because I definitely want to see how they take TV Ellie and Dina and how they handle this. Because I remember there being a lot of fights. Jeez, a lot of sneaking, a lot of fights, and man, wasn't nobody holding back. Which is why I also like that they show Ellie being able to throw a punch, like kind of the conditions she's in, like early in the episode, like she was still building up her body, training while she was in the hospital to get herself back faster to where she was at. This Jessica say, oh yeah, it would take you this amount of time to be able to recover. So you must have been doing X, Y, Z. I like that they did point that out, because I would have been like,
what you can do?
Yeah. I mean, it's fiction, but I can take I still like rules to my fiction. You know what I mean? I need this to make sense. I need to know how time travel works the way it does in fiction. Don't just tell me that it does. Like, you know what I mean? I need to know why this person is strong as they are. I didn't know why they know this martial art. And stuff like that. That's how I think. When I watch stuff like this.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And there's definitely going to be more, because I think I saw a clip on Instagram where Bella Ramsey's like flipping people over her shoulder.
Oh, yeah, I want to see that.
Like it's gonna be crazy.
I didn't even watch the trailer for this show at all. So I'm going to all these episodes like blind. I don't know how much the trailer shows.
Same. Yeah.
So I'm kind of going into just like, okay, I don't want to have any expectation. But yeah, we kind of know where we're at with that.
Yeah, I also like it too at the end of this, because it's like, I don't think that they know how, like Ellie and Dina know how big these people are gonna be, because it's like these 2 people on a horse gonna go there and kill them. Meanwhile, they have like a whole militia, practically, like this army with like tanks and stuff like that, this wolf, whatever they are. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
It's crazy to kind of parallel like what people willing to do or what they change to survive, like, and whether it's a faction you join or whatever the case may be, like it seems like how the world rapidly will change, like this lawlessness that you see in The Last of Us, in these post-apocalyptic, like how quick that goes out the window when then there's no structure, you know what I mean, like government, no structure, like people have to govern themselves, like how people kind of change and adapt to that situation, and seeing how far, like, kind of the scale of good and bad of where this goes. I don't think there
Yeah.
is any, to a certain degree. Like, you're just surviving. So are you a bad guy? Are you a good guy? You know what I mean? Like, I guess it depends on like the perspective of the person that you are. Kind of like the Negan to the group of the Walking Dead situation. Like, he's doing what he's been doing to survive this whole time, and you guys
Mm-hmm.
came across and did X, Y, Z. So you can kind of see the points there. Like, but as we watch the show through the group's perspective, they're the good guys. You know what I mean? And same
Yeah.
thing here, where like Joel was supposed to be the good guy to us, and he's doing bad stuff for other people, which Abby wants her revenge for her killing her father. We see the situation with Eugene, and so on and so on. So, to some extent, Joel did deserve to die for what he did.
Yeah.
Um, his daughter died. He loses it. He's a whole other person.
Yeah.
He's doing what he needs to do to survive. But yeah, a great episode. Again, like you said earlier, it's a slow build, and good for good reason, because you definitely want to take your time. You don't want to rush. You do not want to rush through the hows, the why, the character building between the characters. Like, had we just jumped straight to Ellie on horseback taking down the wolves, I'd be like, all right, I
Mm-hmm.
don't feel like I would have been upset, because like,
It wouldn't be
one,
believable.
right, one, that's not how it happened, and two, again,
Mm-hmm.
I want to see more of the interactions between the characters that'll make me feel for why they die, or what happens to anybody that they show on screen in the organization. Um,
Yeah.
Overall, did you have any before we close this out? Did you have any thoughts on this episode 3?
Yeah, no, I like I said, that was a good episode. There is one thing I have in my notes I thought was really, really
Sure.
cute. But when Gail and Tommy were talking, she mentioned something about Ellie and Joel walking side by side
Mm,
together, and I thought that was really cute because that's very much the first game is them walking side by side, and like even the posters for the game are them
yeah.
walking together. So I thought that was just cute. But otherwise, that was good.
When she said that, I was more so thinking Ellie has now adapted Joel's ways, like, to a certain
Hmm.
extent, like, and he has picked up certain qualities from him, like, and like you said, like that nature versus nurture thing, the Superman theory. Are
Yeah.
you are you
Mhm.
are you the product of and then they're both inherently good people, but she is willing to take a life or do what she needs to do as necessary. And wish she would, because Ellie wasn't going around killing people before. I don't want to say, but before Joel came around, to my
Yeah.
knowledge.
Yeah, no,
Um,
yeah, no. That's
so
definitely what
she
she truly meant. Yeah.
right,
Is
she's
that
adapted that, but yeah, like I said, overall good episode. I can't
good
wait to
callback.
episode 4. Both of I've not seen the preview for that, going into a blind. But yeah, if when you guys get an opportunity to watch, I'm sorry, you all obviously you watch it because you stood through this for 50 something minutes. But once you watch it, obviously leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought about the episode 3 for season 2 alone. Steve, did you have any other thing that you wanted to bring up about the episode before we close this?
No, we good. A good episode. I'm
All right.
excited.
Well, look, guys, we're glad we got to talk to you about this episode and heard our discussion. Again, leave us a comment. This has been episode 3 of season 2 of The Last of Us on HBO. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, and thank you for the views, and keep leaving us those comments. And we'll be back for episode 4 to talk about more Ellie and Dina, because it's the Ellie and Dina show now.
Hell yeah.
So we're forward. But on that note, we are out. See you guys later.